Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So today we'll be making a crochet braided wig using braiding hair, and I've listed the materials we used to make this, and I've also listed the equipment that we used. So I'm just showing you guys what the wig cap looks like. You can get it at the market or you can make it by yourself, and you can get an eyebrow pencil and mark out your hairline. This is the guidance I'm going to be following when you start ventilating the hairline. So for this step I'm using my crochet pin, and I'm just showing you guys how the crochet pin works. So for this first step, you're going to fold the braiding hair into a loop like you see in the video, and then you insert the crochet pin into the lace. You pick a substantial amount of hair, you pull it into the lace, and then you pick one of the hairs, you pull it in, you pick the other side of the hairs, you pull it in. This is called a double split knot method. So we'll repeat this process again so you can see what is happening. You insert the crochet pin into the lace, you pick a substantial amount of hair, you pull it in, you pick one side, you pull it in, you pick the other side, you pull it in, and that is how you do it. Okay, you do it again. You insert the pin into the lace, insert it. You see how I'm inserting it? You pick the hair, you pick one side, bring it in, pick the other side and bring it in. Yeah, you can practice this until you get this. This is the first step. The reason why we are doing this is because if you notice, you see that we don't really have that much lace at the front. So the reason why we do this is it serves as a foundation so that we can cover up the back, because we are still going to ventilate at the front but with small amounts of hair. And if we were to ventilate, if we were to do normal ventilation with the lace that we have in front, we wouldn't cover up the back very well. So this is why we do it like that. So we're just going to keep ventilating at the edge of the lace, and after we are done, this is what it looks like. You can see that the back is pretty much covered up. So for this next step, you'll be using a ventilating needle. You're going to insert a ventilating needle into the lace. You're going to pick 2 to 3 strands of hair. You're going to pull it into the lace. You're going to pick one side, pull it in, pick the other side and pull it in. I'm going to repeat this process. Pay close attention. You insert the ventilating needle into the lace. You pick 2 to 3 strands of hair. You pick one side, pull it in, pick the other side and pull it in. And that is how you do what we call the double split knot method, which is the method of ventilation I'm using for this wig. I am ventilating in a diagonal pattern. By diagonal, I mean in a slanted position. So what you would do is just get your lace, place it like close to sunlight and look at it. You see all these like diagonal lines, and that is the line that I'm following to ventilate. I ventilate one hole, skip the next hole and ventilate the hole after that. That's how I'm doing it. I have lots of videos on lace ventilation, so if you don't already have some knowledge about this and you would like to learn pertaining to this area, please go check those videos out. I have videos about making 4x4 closures, I have videos about making front house, and I use the same method there, so please go check it out. Thank you. So you can see that we are almost done ventilating the main hair in the frontal. Please make sure to follow the line of demarcation. Once you draw your line of demarcation, make sure to follow it. The first line is for the main hair, the second line, which is in front of the first line, is for the baby hairs. For now, we're ventilating the first line, okay? And after we're done ventilating, this is what it looks like, and then we're going to go ahead and move on to the center pattern. I'm going to repeat, you know, that same thing we did for the first step that we did for the frontal. We're going to repeat it for the center pattern. We're going to first of all use our crochet pin to ventilate, large large amount of hair at the edges of the lace, to conceal the wefts that we're going to sew on to the wig cap after we are done ventilating. Okay, so that's what I'm just doing. I'm using the same method, which is to insert your crochet pin into the lace, push the crochet pin over to the other side. Don't forget to place your hair in a loop position, and then you pick a substantial amount of hair. You pick it, you bring it over to the other side. You pick one side, you bring it in. Pick the other side, you bring it in, and that is how you do the double split knot method. It's just the same process that we did for the frontal. Now the reason why we are doing this for the middle part again is because we don't really have that much lace in the middle, and if we were to do normal ventilation for the middle part, we won't really have enough hair to cover up the wefts that we are going to sew on to the wig cap. So that is why we do this, so that after we're doing this, we now do the normal ventilation. So I just went ahead and repeated this process all the way down to the back of the wig cap. You know, the middle part, which is the nape of the hair. And after we are done, I went and the next step is to ventilate. So for this next step, we're using our ventilating needle. I'm using the same method I used to ventilate the frontal double split knot method, and I'm ventilating diagonally. So after we're done ventilating the middle part, I'm going to use my comb and I'm going to part the middle part for you so that you guys can see how the pattern looks. And you can see that it looks natural. It looks natural. That is what your middle part should look like when you're done. So I'm just going to show you guys very well how the middle part looks like. I've already parted it down to the nape, and this is what the front looks like. You can see that it's starting to come together, and this is what our back looks like. I think it looks very nice. It looks natural. So for this next step, you're going to be crocheting the back of the wig cap. So you're going to get your crochet pin, you're going to insert it into the edge of the wig cap. You're going to pick a substantial amount of hair, you're going to pull it in, you're going to pick one side, pull it in, pick the other side and pull it in, and that is how you make your knot. Okay, for the next knot you're going to make sure that your knots are close to each other. The purpose of this is so as to cover up the back of the wig cap, so it's tries to look like a 360 wig, but it's not really a 360 wig. So you pick one side, pull it in, pick the other side, pull it in. That is how you do your knots. So I'm just going to keep repeating this process until we get to that middle part that we made. And after I'm done, I'm going to do the other side. So after we're done crocheting the back, this is what it looks like. I'm going to raise the hair up so that you guys can see how much it covers the back. This is what we wanted and this is what we got. So the next step is to make the tracks. So for this step, you're going to need to, like, tie a thread, from one side to the other. Maybe you may need to get 2 seats, or I don't know how you're going to tie it sharp, but just tie it in a horizontal position, and then you're going to start placing your attachment or your braiding hair in, like I'm doing it now. Just look at how I am tying it to the thread. This is how you're going to be doing it. And after you're done doing it, this is how it's going to look like. You can make your weft as long as you like. This is how long my own looks. I'm just showing you guys how long my wefts or my tracks look like. So now I'm going to cut it off with my scissors, and then I'm going to tie both sides so that they don't loosen up when I start sewing. For additional measures, you can get super glue and glue the ends of the tracks so that they don't really loosen up. That is optional. So, and after I'm done, this is what it looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and now I'm going to sew it onto the wig cap. I've already marked out the lines I'm going to follow, even though I know at the end of the day I didn't really follow those lines. So for this sewing of a weft into the wig cap, this is optional. Some people like to crochet the braiding hair into the wig cap. Me, I'm really lazy and I don't really want to start crocheting the hair into the wig cap. This is kind of like a faster method of doing it. So this is what I'm doing. So I just start sewing the wefts onto the wig cap. I'm just sewing it round. The wefts, don't make the wefts to be close to each other. Just be generous with the spacing. Okay, because we don't really want this hair to be too bulky. If it's too bulky, you won't like it. Yes, of course, we know that when you put this braiding hair in hot water, the volume will reduce, but you still don't want it to be too bulky. Please, even though I didn't show it in this video, the next track you should sew after sewing through this line should be at the edge of the lace, should be close to the lace, should be close to where the lace is. After sewing this line of tracks, the next track should be close to the lace. Now the next step is to ventilate the baby hairs. Yes, so we can complete the hairline. We're going to ventilate the baby hairs. We're going to be following that line that you see there. That is going to be our hairline. So I'm going to start ventilating baby hairs. For the baby hairs, I am using my ventilating needle to pick one strand of hair. One strand of hair only. One strand of hair for each ventilation that we are doing. So I'm ventilating in a diagonal pattern just like I did for the frontal. I'm ventilating in a diagonal pattern. I ventilate one hole, skip the next hole, and ventilate the hole after that. This is how I'm ventilating. So after I'm done ventilating the baby hair, this is what it looks like. Do you notice the difference between the hairline before and the hairline after we're done ventilating the baby hairs? You can see that it looks so much better and looks more natural. So I'm just going to go ahead and boil hot water, even though I didn't show it in this video, and I'm going to put this whole wig into the hot water.
A few moments later.
So after we have immersed the wig in hot water and left it to dry, this is what it looks like. You can see that the volume has reduced drastically. So after combing the hair with the paddle brush, to remove any knots that may be in the hair, I'm going to use the tail of my comb to pull out the baby hairs that we are going to be using in this wig. So I'm just going to pull out the baby hairs. You can do this according to your liking. If you don't like it, if you don't want to bring out baby hairs, that's fine. You can just braid it all in. But for me, I want to bring out baby hairs, so and that is up to you. That is up to your customer that you're making it for. So after we're done braiding the baby hair in the front, I'm also going to bring out the baby hair at the back. This is also optional, you can do this if you like. I usually do this because it just gives extra coverage at the back, so that if there is any note that is being exposed at the back, those baby hairs that are going to bring out is going to cover it up. You can notice that I'm not really like going in with my comb and just bringing it out straight like that. I'm going in a zigzag pattern. So after breaking out the baby hair, I am going to braid it down. For the next step, I'm using the tail of my comb to part the middle part all the way down to the nape, because we're not getting ready to braid the wig. And after we're done patting down the middle part, I went ahead and I used rubber band to tie one side, and we're going to braid the other side off camera. And this is what the other side looks like when it's braided. You can see that the style starts to come together. Can you see the vision? So I'm just going to go ahead and braid the other side. So first of all, I'm using my paddle brush to comb the hair, and then I'm going to use my wax stick and brush to arrange the hairline, and then I'm going to start braiding. Let me just say that I'm not a professional braider, so I'm actually struggling in this video if you can't tell. Something I did notice why braiding this wig was that because of the way that we sewed on the wefts, because we left so much space when we were sewing on the wefts, there was these holes that were showing when I was braiding in the hair. So what I did suggest is if you do the crochet method instead of doing the weft method, I think you wouldn't have this same issue. See, why I was braiding this, I was actually struggling because this is braiding hair, and braiding hair can get matted really fast because it's synthetic hair. So once I was braiding, don't be afraid to pick up your paddle brush and brush through the ends of the hair to free up those hair that are matting up. So as I was getting to the tip of the hair that we had, I added an additional braiding hair to the tip to make it longer. So see what I'm doing, I added and I braided it in. I use them feeding braid method, so I don't know if you want to learn how to do feeding braid. I'm afraid I don't have a tutorial on my channel, so you can go and check it out. Just search it up on YouTube how to do feeding braids. So I just kept braiding, and once I got to my desired length, I tied it down to secure it tight. And this is what it looks like. This is what it looks like. So after braiding the hair, I noticed that there were lots of flyaways, so I went with my scissors, to trim off those flyaways so that we can obtain a cleaner look. So now we're going to deal with the baby hairs. I'm going to use the tip of my comb to loosen up those braids that we braided out the baby hairs, and then we're going to curl those baby hairs. You can leave your baby hair straight if that is what you like, but I like mine curled. I think it just looks more fashionable. I'm just going to roll it using my my flexi rollers. Is that what they call them? Flexi-Rods, yeah, Flexi-Rods. So I'm just rolling them with my Flexi-Rods like that. And after you're done rolling it, we're going to put it in hot water.
You melt the ice behind my stone cold eyes. I turn to ashes, but only just sometimes. Inhale your smoke, but you still act surprised. It's not my fault when we end up capsized. You call me crazy now, but you don't understand. I'm calling out to you. Can you hear a thing? 'Cause you lit the match that ignites the flame. I'm the TNT, but you're the spark to blame. And it's fire burning holes inside my brain.
I also went and dipped the tail of the braids into the hot water. Now because of that additional braiding hair that we added to make the braids longer. Now so I just dipped it into hot water so that we can achieve that silky straight look. Yeah, I feel like the hot water also tamed down the flyaways in the hair. So I left it out to dry, and now I'm going to unravel the curls.
I know some days with you it's paradise, but now you spin me in a web with all your lies. Want you to feel the way I feel inside. I'm reaching out for help, you got me in a riptide. You call me crazy now, but you don't understand. I'm calling out to you. Can you hear a thing? 'Cause you lit the match that ignites the flame. I'm the TNT, but you're the spark to blame. And it's fire.
And after everything, this is my final look. This is what the wig looks like, guys. What do you guys think? Would you think this was a slay or a nah? So would you do this? Would you make something like this? What do you guys think? Please don't forget to like, share, comment your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you've watched up to the stage of this video and you like the end result, please don't forget to click the subscribe button and notification button so that you get notified anytime I post a new video. I'm going to leave you guys to it. Bye and have a nice day.
Just blow this flame away, and I hold on for rainy days. It feels like a decade, just please come and save me. And it's fire